Howdy, howdy, hello, welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. Today is live stream episode 31 for June 15th, 2020. I want to welcome everybody here that's joining me live this evening, as well as those watching after the fact on the Mr. Mountain Man channel, youtube.com/Mr. Mountain Man. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the content that is brought to you all here on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. Everything about the mountains, what I like, what I do, where I go, and the fun things that I get into as well. I hope everybody's having a great start to your week. I am. It's been a good day. It's a good Monday. And I'm looking crazy, aren't I? Look at this. Look at this beard, the hair. This is full on just mountain style, I guess, right? But I have a funny story about that. I'll tell you all in a minute as you all roll in here today. We have Marvin Carlton. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great start to your week. You are always number one into the live stream, and I appreciate it. And I always enjoy the conversation with you and everyone here on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. And hope wherever you are that things are going well today and every day. Just getting things rolling. Had a nice weekend as well, and actually made it over to East Tennessee and Gatlinburg. So I'll talk a little bit about that today. Get into some of the housekeeping and news and notes like we always do around here. And just hang out and have a fun chat to get the week going. So I hope everybody's okay. Oh, we got some other good folks here. Marvin's letting us know you're doing great. Excellent. I like to hear that. Susan Thompson, hello to you. Valley Mountain, another mountain handle. Love it. Hello to you. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Maybe Brian, if you're not having a great start to the week, I hope that things get better for you. And maybe this chat will make it more fun and you can enjoy and hang out and maybe get a smile out of it. Hey, Traveling Hoosier, haven't seen you around here in a while. I know Mondays, there's always so much going on. I hope you guys are doing well up in your neck of the woods in Indiana. And you and Blondie's Adventures are having a great start to your week. And I want to say hello to you both. Foxy Wolf, hey, Mr. Mountain Man, looking for this lovely Monday. It is a lovely Monday. It's a good start to the week, and we always have a good time here. And I was poking fun at myself because I'm starting to look like a grizzly mountain man style. Look at this hair. I got hair going in the back. I got this beard going. So here's the funny story about the, real quick. Lily says, hello to you. Can't stay, want to pop in and say hello. Stay safe. Much love. Back at you as well. I hope you're doing well up in the Northeast and everything's going well where you are and having a safe late spring and early summer and everything that's going on there. Traveling Hoosier says, been busy. I know. Things didn't slow down during the pandemic. They got busier because I paid more focus and attention on the house. Of course, we had the baby. Everything's going on. Family's active. It's just busy work, everything that's going on. Andrew Rogers says pool paid off, but the car's still in the shop. Oh, well, that's fun. At least the pool's paid off for the summer. Cars seem to always be having problems. I can attest to that. Like I'm always putting videos on my other channel, The Eclectic Handyman.
Last 2 hours,
always something going on. And of course, my background here is making noise because this is one of the problems. I'll show this in a minute.
Latest COVID-19 numbers.
Yeah, be quiet.
The
things that I have lined up for today, sorry about that background noise, always have ads on them, like all the news and notes that I have. I need to pull those out and put them in a separate presentation so we can just talk to them because the sites go on their own and they start to show videos. So that's crazy. Let me close this. All right, so we're back. I hope that your car it gets fixed and it's not a hassle to you. Tadarico, hello, Mr. Mountain Man, on time this week. I'm glad to have you here as well. Yeah, not when I have to fix my car. Motor mount has to be replaced. Yeah, when the motor mount goes bad in a car and you get that vibration, yeah, fixing cars are, it's not fun. I mean, if it's routine maintenance and you enjoy working on the car, it can be fun. But for 99% of people, car repairs are an annoyance. And then there's always that balance between paying off a car and having some repairs, or you know, getting a new car and having a car payment and maybe having it on, you know, have a car payment, but maybe have less repairs. So it's always that balance, because we just got rid of one of our old cars that was paid off, but the repairs were starting to mount up and it was annoying. So we decided that the monthly payment was the lesser of two evils. Congratulations on the baby. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Life is busy and happy, blessed. I can't complain. I put a link in the channel and I will be sharing that in a minute here. In a few minutes on the news and notes. Thank you as well, Susan Thompson. Life is active and fun. And I really, I love being a family man, and it's good stuff. And there goes, all right, I'm going to have to, these things keep going back and forth and keep turning the video on. So I'll have to get to news and notes here in a minute so I can actually shut these things down, because I keep hitting pause and then they autoplay in the background. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Hey, Blondie's Adventures. Good to have you here with Traveling Hoosier tonight. It's great to see you guys again. Really enjoy having you all here in the fun conversation. And Brian, yeah, that stinks. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, fixing cars is no fun. It's a lot of money. So I hope that gets through and it stays fixed. Something keeps killing my battery. If that's on your phone, sometimes reboot or kill apps in the background. So without further ado, while everybody's saying hello, let's do what we do on Mondays. And let's get to housekeeping for the week of June 15th, 2020. When I start this broadcast, I still have to look down at the date and the episode number. You would think I could look straight in the camera and tell you what day it is and what episode. But watch me every episode. I'll be like, hello, it's Mountain Man Monday. And it is June 15th. And it's episode 31. All I got to do is remember two things. All right, let's get this going. So first off, for news and notes, sharing the screen, getting better at this every week. What do we have? All right, first up, I always got to talk a little bit about, let's do this and this. My other channel, The Eclectic Handyman. I've been enjoying that because, as I talk about it always, on The Eclectic Handyman, does that look funky? There we go. All right, cool. Make the videos at home. So it's the balance between Mr. Mountain Man channel, what I do when I'm having fun and hanging out with you all, and this is stuff around the house. So that's youtube.com/The Eclectic Handyman. Got a couple of reviews of some. I like to collect. Collect is the wrong word. I like to build up my Craftsman tools, the USA stamped original tools. This is what they sold at Sears when I was growing up. Not as collector's items, but actually use them. So when I get one off of eBay or something, I might review it. And then I work on my car and I work in the house, and I have about 5 other videos in the can. It's called The Eclectic Handyman for a reason. There is no continuity. It is not just a car channel. It is not just a house channel. It is not just a tools channel. It's eclectic. It's everything, blah, 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 left, right, and all that good stuff. So that's a channel that I don't know if people would want to watch each video, but if you like that kind of thing, feel free to check it out. That's why I have it up here. All right, the other piece of housekeeping, Instagram. I bring this up every week because it's a good segue into some of the things I did in the week. And what did I do this week? Well, we headed over to Gatlinburg on Saturday, and it was a beautiful day. So just to show you a couple of those pictures, although some of you that already follow me, I've already seen some of these. This was downtown Gatlinburg. This does not do it justice. I'm going to talk a bit about this. Actually, I'm going to talk a bit about this now. Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge were absolutely jam-packed. There were lots and lots and lots and lots of people. And really nobody wears masks unless they're required to by the place of employment. So you might see at some restaurants and fast food places that they will adhere to those standards, but your average citizen walking around doesn't. Now, listen, I'm not going to get preachy on that stuff. That's a personal decision. I do like to be safe, and what's happened in 2020 stinks. 118,000 dead is nothing to twitch our noses at and say it didn't happen, and it happened in a few months. And you know, people that you don't expect do catch it. I saw an article today that Ezekiel Elliott, if you're not familiar with NFL football, he is a running back for the Dallas Cowboys. He got it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is deadly for everybody. Obviously, this is the science, you know, behind it, but it's still out there. And so it is a little tough to navigate places like Gatlinburg with this because it's so packed. So we chose not to be in downtown Gatlinburg. That picture was taken from the car. And again, that doesn't do it justice. I took some other pictures. I just didn't want to overload Instagram. The street was packed. The walkways were packed. Everything's packed. You wouldn't know anything's happening. And I get it. People have their vacations. They had their vacations planned and they want to be there. So just be aware. That's the only thing. It looks like my video kind of stinks. Is it? I don't know. I can't see the comments in the background. So hopefully my audio is coming through all right. But anyway, yeah. So this was a picture from downtown Gatlinburg. And again, Pigeon Forge later in the evening. We went through Gatlinburg to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, made a quick stop there and went over to Pigeon Forge. And we did go over to Old McDonald Putt-Putt because we have Ripley season passes there. We were able to social distance very well. We were able to, keep our distance from other people around us.
In the last 2
we were
hours,
able to.
Let
me turn off. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to. This is what's happening. I'll be closing these articles in a minute. It's probably eating up some of my bandwidth as well. I want to show you this article in a second. Oh, how disorganized. Come on. If you're going to play, and if I can hit pause.
Today was the state's highest number of new cases.
All right.
It was also the high.
All right. So back to, we haven't gotten to news and notes yet. All right. Come on. Work with me. There we go. All right. So back into mini golf. Mini golf, we were able to distance. We had a great time. We played around to 18. We have the annual passes, so that was a sunk cost. We were able to get there. Two of us got hole-in-ones on the last one. And I said, what do they do for annual pass holders? They gave us a couple of tickets. So maybe if I've got family in town, we can go mini putt-putt golf for free. And so that was a nice evening. The weather was spectacular. So we did enjoy that as well. And on the way over to Pigeon Forge, stopped at the Gatlinburg bypass at the top of the very, very famous overlook of Gatlinburg. And I took a nice picture up there as well. The mountains are recovering from 2016. Was it 2016 or 2017 when the fires were? You still out in the distance can see, you know, that not all the green has come back, but the overall it's just a beautiful look of the mountains from up there. Although my favorite, and this one doesn't do it well, behind me, this is off the Foothills Parkway coming off I-40, which again was my first ever video on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. It's also shown in the trailer when you see me talking and pointing at the mountains. This is a stop I always like to make. It's one of the most serene, beautiful,
whenever you see something
yeah. No. Nobody wants to know about that. Let's quiet down here.
You see it
it's probably
stronger and stronger.
All right, stop. There we go. All right, so back to this finally. Yeah, so this is just a beautiful overlook there in East Tennessee when you get off I-40. And Chris about T-shirts said it was a manly beard. This is not by intention. So here's the funny story about the beard. I think I talked about it last week, but I can't remember. I told this story once. I like a beard trimmer that has a rotating ring on it that will adjust the height of the beard trimmer on a single attachment. All right. But all the new beard trimmers, and the last beard trimmer I had for like over 15 years, and all the new beard trimmers have like 20 different clips, like a barbershop. I don't want that. I'm not a barber. I don't need all that stuff. I just need simple ones. So I had to find a very specific model, and I did. It was an Phillips Norelco. So I ordered it off of eBay, and the reason was because this very specific model, with the way I liked it, was a little difficult to find. I think they may have stopped making it, but it was supposed to be new. All right, new. So I get it in the mail. Comes on Friday. My beard was already driving me crazy. And I look at the package, and there's hair on the beard trimmer. That's disgusting. Like, because you know what? With guys, you don't know what they're shaving or what kind of hair that is. So I emailed the person, the eBay seller. I said, listen, this said brand new. This is used. It's nasty. I wouldn't have bought it. So you can either give me a partial refund to reflect that it's used, or I can give you negative feedback because I'm not paying to ship it back. So anyway, they contacted me today, and they were very nice about it. They said, oh, we'll give you back $10. Sorry about that. We sell used and new, and must have got confused. I have disinfectant spray and beard oil and stuff like that, so I can clean it up. It wasn't heavily used, but I mean, if you think about it, when you go to the barber shop, they're not pulling out of the box a brand new pair of clippers every time they do your haircut. So it's not completely foreign to have a pair of clippers that's shared among people. But I will clean it up. But anyway, that's crazy. So I haven't got a chance to use it yet. I don't know if I've ever had a beard quite this long, but yeah, that's what's happening with the beard trimmer. Kind of crazy. And so yeah. So that is the housekeeping for the week. And now we will move to news and notes for the week. All right. So the annoying background video that keeps running, I wanted to discuss that in North Carolina, very different than Tennessee, they are looking at, we've had a spike in COVID over here. Charlotte, North Carolina is particularly a bad spot. All right. So I'm in Western North Carolina near Asheville. Charlotte's about 2.5 hours away. And Charlotte actually is one of the national hot spots of about a half dozen places that has a spike in COVID. And so we've always been pretty conservative about reopening the economy. I mean, by we, North Carolina and Governor Cooper. And so they're looking at maybe making face coverings mandatory in North Carolina. And also they're talking about which counties are the hot spot, Mecklenburg being where Charlotte is. That's Mecklenburg County. And they're just keeping an eye on it because the next phase 3, is due at the end of June, I believe, for the reopening. That would include additional places. Because remember, here in North Carolina, places like Carowinds have not reopened yet, like theme parks, gyms. There's still stuff that hasn't been open. And they're asking people, in high-risk areas like long-term facilities to get tested, grocery store, food processing plants, childcare, or anyone who is at a mass gathering to get tested because they just want to keep it to a minimum. I think that it feels like, based on what I observe going out, is that some folks have equated the government saying we're reopening as equal to everything's okay. Well, it's not okay. The only difference is we have awareness, which is very important. But there's still, the pandemic, and it's like a light game of Russian roulette. Honestly, it doesn't affect most people, but then there are some that it's going to hit hard. And so it just kind of stinks. The whole thing stinks and stinks. But yeah, North Carolina. So what does this mean for mountains and travel and things going on in North Carolina? Well, it means that, if you're over here in this state, it might be more restrictive than if you're at one of our neighbors to the west or south, being Georgia and Tennessee, which are much less restrictive. Just something to know. But the cool thing about Western North Carolina, it's the mountains. Okay. So when you're out in the mountains, they haven't closed the mountains. You can still go out and do stuff. So it's not a hindrance from that manner. It's more about some of the other places that I had mentioned, like theme parks and some of the gyms and whatnot. All right. Finally, we can close that tab. Yay. All right. This is hot off the press. I'm a NASCAR fan. So what about those hot spots? What about, when I was talking about Charlotte? Well, they have moved the All-Star race, which is always in Charlotte, from Charlotte to Bristol. This is released about an hour ago. due to the fact that there's an increase of COVID-19 in North Carolina, especially in Charlotte. Both of these are, CMS, right? Motorsports. I forget. It's the company that owns a whole bunch of the tracks, and Bristol and Charlotte are under the same umbrella. So those are under the same umbrella. So it's easier for them to move that race between those two racetracks. And so I think that'll be interesting. The All-Star race can kind of be a snooze fest. Bristol is kind of a snooze fest these days. It's not what it was in the 90s. When Dale Earnhardt was there and all the bumping and banking. In fact, the reconfiguration they did to that track did not help it one bit. When it made the racing, I would say, like easier for the drivers because of the progressive banking, and that made the racing worse. There was a time when getting a ticket to Bristol was impossible. Now it's, sans what's going on with COVID. Even last year, the stands are more than half empty. People just don't want to go anymore. Racing's not that good. I have been to Bristol before. My one complaint about Bristol is that, because I've been to several tracks and watched races, Bristol's a little bit like a conveyor belt. It's very small. So if you look down and you eat, something, or you have a snack, or you're drinking something, and then you look up, you don't know where your driver is anymore. It's just constantly, it's not like watching on television. The bigger tracks like Daytona or Michigan or Pocono and these, it takes, 30 to 45 seconds to a minute to get around one lap. So if you look away, then it will stop it. Sorry about that. If you look away for a minute, you won't be able to find your driver anymore. So that's my only gripe about Bristol. But I love where Bristol is in the mountains, East Tennessee, beautiful area. I would love to get to the quarter-mile track up there. I think it's a beautiful place to visit. So, something to look forward to on the NASCAR side of things is that they're moving the All-Star race to Bristol, Tennessee. All right. The last of the tabs that are making noise is Sevier County. If everybody knows what that is, that's where Gatlinburg is in Pigeon Forge. And they have had a spike in cases after Memorial Day weekend. Now, the numbers here are not that high this was published on June the 9th. Today's the 15th. And they had 65 active cases, up from 42, which is 29 active cases in one day. All right. So, you're talking not even triple digits yet. It says positive cases are up from 87 on June 1st to 158 on Tuesday. Okay. So that may have been new cases versus reported cases. So anyway, the numbers are pretty small. But here's the deal. People are coming from all over the country. That's a tourist hotspot. So, could there be a spike? It's tough to tell, a 50% increase from Sunday to Monday, 28 to 42, and even more cases. There's a lot of people walking around and elbow to elbow. All the restaurants are open. I'm telling you. I don't know how many of you have been there, but we went there the last weekend. And again, we navigated smartly. We only did takeout food. We were in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, but we didn't get near anybody. And we played putt-putt, and we didn't have to get within 6 or 10 feet of anybody at any time. So we were able to navigate the town smartly, but we were not going to sit down restaurants and hanging out indoors in the air conditioning or walking around downtown Gatlinburg. I'm not to say that you all shouldn't. That's a personal decision. I'm just saying that it's very, very busy, and we'll just have to wait and see. But hopefully, they don't have the science on it as far as summer. Normally influenza, the flu in the summer lessens because people don't get sick because of the heat and humidity. So hopefully that'll help the cause with this and keep the cases down in, those hotspot areas. On a more positive note, Dollywood reopened today, and this was from the Knoxville News. And there are some photos here of the folks, the families enjoying Dollywood. Like many theme parks, they have different measures in place to make sure that people stay safe, including temperature checks and masks and social distancing. Also, you have to have a reservation. They're at 50% capacity. and hand washing stations, and the Wolf Operation capped at 50%. Just a beautiful area there for the festival that's going on. Some folks are happy to be at Dollywood and enjoying that. There was a live stream this morning. Yankee in the South, Will and Dawn were there. I'm sure many others that are local to that area. So you can see the folks there. Great applause for Dollywood for keeping folks safe during this time. And then hopefully by 2021, next summer, we're a bit more back to a true normal. And so this will be something that we'll look back in history and remember the year 2020 and what some of the different things that we had to do in that year. All right. So that, my friends, concludes the news and notes for the week of June 15th, 2020. I hope you enjoyed that and found out a couple of things. And if you came in late and missed any of it, feel free to go back and watch it. Let me know in the comments. I know I'm way behind. I'm probably not going to go all the way back because I'll miss. I'll be just, I'm infamous for my being behind on comments. So let's see who's here. Oh, I just want to say hello to a few people. We got. I'm just going to say their names and then I'll start rolling through the comments again here. We've got Dale Bush is here. Hey, Chris about t-shirts. Chris, buddy, hope you're doing well. Sexy Matt, good to see you. Karen Story has it. Great to see you as well. Looks like Blondie's Adventures had to take off. Thanks for stopping by, Blondie's Adventure, which you're probably not hearing because you're not here anymore. But if you happen to be watching this again and you want a goodbye, I'm saying goodbye to you now. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? A lot of good comments here. Good conversation going on. Looks like I saw everybody. Yay! All right. Let's see. Let's see if anybody. Oh, cool. Blind's Adventure. We are coming to. Well, she's gone. June 30th through July 6th. I know they love the East Tennessee. East Tennessee is beautiful. Look at those pictures on Instagram. Just a great place to be, and a lot of fun. I was just talking about ways to navigate. I'm interested in what you all are doing. If what your thoughts and opinions are on the topic. That's why I do the news and notes. It's not just to ramble on. It's to spark conversation about some of the things in the area that we know about as well. Foxy Wolf says, Blondie, celebrate my birthday for me on July 6th. Foxy Wolf, you have to be back for a Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream before then, so we'll have to sing you a happy birthday. Angie Rogers says, I want to say congrats to the class of 2020 and to Gabby. Well, absolutely. Whoever that is, and to 2020, I think that's awesome. I really feel for all the school, everything from 5th graders going to 6th grade, for 8th graders going to 9th grade, for seniors graduating high school, and for seniors in college of bachelor's, master's, doctorates, and all these people who did not get to celebrate, especially seniors in high school and graduating college graduates. These are, monumental, lifetime accomplishment type things. And I feel really badly, but I think it's cool how people have gotten creative with drive-by graduations and ways, but it's still, it kind of stinks that the ones that I always went to for myself were in auditoriums. Some people have them on football fields. I think some of the ones they were still able to do on football field, having chairs far apart. And then, they would, give the diploma and then keep distance, probably no handshaking, that kind of thing. But yes, I extend my congratulations as well to all of those folks. Yes, and hello again to you. And congratulations to your friend. It's a manly beard. Yeah, Chris. Well, I'm going to shave it down a little bit. First of all, the hair is too long here, and they're starting to get in my face. I need to get a picture of when I had this huge mustache of Wyatt Earp. So this is nothing, but yeah, this is pretty. This is getting kind of unwieldy here. So is my hair. I missed the reference to the buffet, a Latin buffet. But let us know where you enjoyed a Latin buffet. I love buffets. I'm a big fan of buffets. I haven't been to one since the whole deal going on. Yeah. What was disgusting? I'm sorry. See, this is what happens when I get behind on comments. I must have missed something. It was probably in referring to one of my articles. Let me know what that is. Yeah, gross with a capital G. What did I show that was gross? My beard? Maybe it was my beard. Yeah, Valley Mountain said, I didn't know Charlotte was a hot spot. Thanks for the info. I saw that on the news tonight. There was like Arizona, something, something, something. And I'm, of course, I'm always looking to right where I am. I'm like, it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then I see that article about the All-Star race being moved to Bristol. So, yeah. Foxy Whip says we're having a big spike in Georgia and opening up even more, telling 65 and older to stay home and the obese to stay home. Yeah, that's the thing is like, a lot of people have a condition that they may not know about. In the United States in general, there's a lot of unhealthiness. And it's tough because this kind of can be more aggressive for that scenario. So everybody kind of has to make that own decision. But I don't think that's the problem. Is even my mentality is that doesn't preclude even the ones that feel that they're healthy people for going out. I will say that I have seen people, especially when I was over in Gatlinburg, that I'm looking at and I'm like, I really don't think they should be out so heavy public, but that's their decision. It's tough. Yeah. A spike here in Arizona as well. Arizona was that's what I saw. There are like 6 places on a map, and I can't remember all the other ones. My county has 29 cases, but the last week 9 showed up. Yeah, percentage-wise, it starts off small like that. Depends if it's rural or populated. Again, I'm listen. This is not my foray, but I would think the summer is helping keep it mitigated, but I don't know. And again, hello to you, Karen Story. Karen, it's so good to have you back in the chat. I haven't seen you in a few weeks. Thank you for stopping by. It's always nice having you here and a good conversation. Foxy says, Dale, no, you've stayed home for now. So yeah, you hear me like with my wife and our family, it's been tough. It's very confusing. Like, because you see what you see, like I talked about, like in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or other areas. I just keep talking about that because I was there recently. But even out around town, you would think that not much is happening, but it is. And it's tough, like kids playing with other kids or birthday parties or get-togethers. And everybody kind of has a different opinion. Like we had a neighbor that wanted to come over and like visit with the kids. And it's so awkward because you can tell that some people are like, whatever. But we're like, we want to err on the side of caution and just we're not bunkered down. Obviously, we went somewhere this weekend. We're just trying to be smart about where we go and how we do it. But again, let me know what you think. I know I'm a few minutes still behind in comments. I'm catching up here. We eat outside. It's better. Yes, Angie Rogers. We actually, so we did get takeout. Panda Express in Pigeon Forge. It was later at night. We had done putt-putt, and we got it. Only the drive-thru was open, but they had outdoor seating. Well, what do you know? I sit down with the kids and start eating, and then somebody lights up a cigarette like right next to us and puffing. And so that, whatever, it's fine. It's like we were eating dinner. It's like, that's the only stinky thing about sitting outside. But hey, it was outside. They have a right to do it, whatever. It was just kind of close. But yeah, outside eating is awesome if you can do that. Because I don't know with the HVAC and like air conditioning recirculating in a small restaurant. Who cares if you're 6 feet away if somebody's sick and all that stuff. So, but anyway, I know that stuff kind of stinks and is depressing. Boy, 2020's been one for the history books so far, I tell you what. Oh, Chris, were you at Dollywood? That's really cool. Did you go with Will and Don or did you go by yourself? That's awesome. I stopped by on their live stream for about a minute and a half because I was busy and working, so I was not able to do it. Angie said I got to see Francis on their live stream. He's cool. Is that like you talking about the France family from NASCAR or somebody else? I'm sorry, I'm not getting the references, Angie. You can fill me in. Let me know where I'm off here. Chris said he left about an hour ago from Dollywood. Hope you had a great day. And let us know. Did you sing Jolene for the park? If people don't know, Chris sings a sweet Jolene. I'll tell you what, he can throw down. A nice Jolene. I should get next to him. Jolene, Jolene. That's not even the kind of music I really listen to, but yeah, I could do it too. Oh, traveling Hoosier left too. Wish you could stay longer. I have to run. Okay, thanks for stopping by. 8 minutes ago, you left. So, I tried to say it doesn't sound the same with the mask on. Yeah. I've been having troubles getting the masks I want. I think I told you last week. I got like a digital camouflage mask. And the first one I got was like made for kids, but it said adults. So I ordered another one from another place, and the thing is absolutely massive. It's like puffs out on the side. It doesn't even fit my face. So one is like this big, and then one's like this big. I need one in the middle. Like I want to take the big one, cut away the material and resew it. I don't know. I have been having trouble with getting the right size mask. I'd probably wear a gaiter too. I think the gaiters are cool. I had read one thing that the polyester is not as good and effective as what the masks are intended to do versus 100% cotton. So listen, we all know none of them are like bulletproof. You're protecting your neighbor. I just figured if I'm going to have to wear something, I might as well wear the right thing. I think a gaiter looks cooler, but and I might still get one. I don't know. But again, it's just something I had read about the polyester versus cotton. Fox Swift says, "Come on and make it sound more like Dolly doing Jolene." Had it at their house live next door. Yeah, fill me in again on the buffet and the Francis live stream. Oh no, that the hair was. Oh yeah. Sorry, I should have known what you were talking about, Dale. I'm sitting there talking about nasty, and that just completely blanked mine. Yeah, it's nasty, right? Because my wife's like, "What kind of hair is that?" And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's nasty. I wouldn't buy it used. I mean, at least at the barbershop, like I talked about, how they have the somebody else's razor. They're spraying it with beer oil and knocking it off and putting it under the water. So whatever. But yeah. Hey Rita, good to see you. And your Grace, the comment was about the shaver. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. The numbers. That's the only thing about the numbers. The numbers don't lie. And it's not a United States thing. So it's not, it might be being politicized, but it's not political only to the United States. This is a global problem. So, yeah, it's tough. It's just tough. It's tough. And there is conflicting opinion. And I understand that. The employee that they know from Dollywood. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. Who that is? We met up Will and Dawn at Dollywood. Okay, cool. I hope you guys had a good time. What? We're not going to get Dollywood season passes this year. Maybe in 2021 we might. We're not quite as close, so it's an effort to get over to East Tennessee. But we just have to see, the economics of it. But we don't. If we get the passes when they go on sale, is it like November or December is like the cheapest when it is, or January? It's not horrible, the pricing, I think. The one thing that's tough for a larger family is that they do not allow you to bring in food and drink. And so they, to go into the park for the full day with a larger family and feed them can get expensive. So you have to account that in. That was better. That was what I liked about Disney World. Disney World would allow you to bring in any kind of food and beverage you wanted. You could not bring in bottles, like glass bottles, obviously, because if they break, it's dangerous. But we would pack sandwiches and subs and snacks and water bottles and cookies and everything. It would be a treat for us to eat in the park. So once we sunk the cost for annual passes, we could drive to Disney World on a Saturday morning, spend the whole day and drive back to our house at night in Central Florida and not spend anything beyond the gas that it took to get to the park, because we could resist the souvenirs and everything. So it's the only thing about Dollywood. It's not a complete deterrent for us to go, but it's something we have to factor in because, theme parks aren't, you're not getting, a bottle of water, even if it's reasonable at Dollywood, if it's a couple dollars, that's still a couple dollars times, the family or sharing, and it's hot. I do know they have that large cup that you can buy. You can get like unlimited refills. but I think it's like 30 or 35 if you multiply that by the family, and then they have the buffet. I mean, it just adds up. It can get very expensive. So if you're doing it one time, no problem. But if you're doing this 2 times a month or 3 times a month and have to buy the whole family food at the park, the economics of it, we just have to play it out. The buffet you were talking about had cactus chicken steak and a lot of Mexican food. That sounds really good. Every once in a while I come across a Latin buffet and I really enjoy it. Most of the time, the Mexican and Latin restaurants I go to, being different, like Mexican restaurants versus like Caribbean Latin food, or something, have larger portions. So it's kind of nice. That was the only thing I was going to say about the Panda Express. I know that's fast food that I'm talking about, but it wasn't super cheap and it was not enough food. I got the biggest plate they had, which was $10, and I was not full. The kids' meals were about $6 and they were decent size. My wife was disappointed in the food that they didn't have enough. So that's why we did like buffets. Like, I get it that it's not always healthy because you can overeat, but you get a selection and it's a much better deal. And sometimes we go to these restaurants and the kids menu is like $7.99 and it's a pitiful size and the kids are still hungry. It gets expensive really fast. So again, I'm always on the got the budget on the mind. I've always got to figure that out. Gators fit better and more comfortable. Get the cotton gator. Mine has wolves on it. Oh, cool. Okay, that's good to know about the cotton ones as well. See, the thing with them being polyester is because, as I understood, the gators are elastic and stretch. And that elasticity comes from the polyester fabric. So whereas cotton, although this is a cotton shirt, so, it probably does expand a little bit. But some of the ones I had looked at had the blend, I should say. It wasn't all polyester. It was like a cotton polyester blend or something like that. Rita said, "Bigger for the start. I guess my comments have not been showing up." Hopefully they did. I had to skip a bunch from earlier, so maybe they did, and I just didn't see. I skipped a lot of the hellos and the transactional comments because I was so far behind. But good to have you here, Rita. I always enjoy it. I was thinking the same about the gators, is you don't have to put it in your pocket. Just drop down. I bet yours is neat with the wolves. Yeah, that's cool, Foxy Wolf. And has 2 different ones and 2 others. Story has it, I didn't care for Panda Express either. So the food wasn't bad. It's just it was expensive. I'm not gonna lie. Like an hour later, I went to Burger King, got a sandwich. I mean, I'm a hungry guy. I'd been out all day, and so I was hungry, and I got more food, which is weird because I have eaten Panda Express in the airports when I travel for work, and they'll load you up. Like, I actually would go to a Panda Express because, like in Atlanta Airport and some of the others, they give you a ton of food. I mean, scooping it out in that styrofoam box, you get a heaping mound of food. It's really too much for some. But for whatever reason, the actual restaurant location just didn't have a good portion size. So the kids did enjoy it, the food, and they told me they loved it and they'd go back. Quietly, I think, I would like to find, it's just weird, we're running around, we're doing stuff all day. Everybody's built up an appetite. You're going to drop down some money. I know that's fast food, so it's not crazy money, but I'm always sensitive. My wife and I are that. I mean, you work hard for your money. You want it to go well. Every once in a while, we'll go on those vacations where we don't pay attention. But for the most part, we're a normal family that keeps an eye on the budget, and we like to do things because wasting money means we can't do other fun things. So we like to, use it in the right spot and not let it, float away on silly decisions. And that's what happens sometimes. Like if we don't plan our meals or where we want to go, and we end up going to some sit-down restaurant that we didn't know the prices and have a triple-digit bill that's just off the charts, and it's like, oh, that was not a wise move. So anyway, yeah, they grilled it and had the fruit too. That's really cool. Nice. Sounds like a good buffet. Foxy Wolf says, take it from Nurse. Gators are more convenient and comfortable. Cool. I think I'm going to get one, Foxy Wolf. I had my eye on a couple of them, and Again, there was a digital camouflage one that I thought was really cool. Not like a hunting camouflage, but like a Navy digital camouflage. I think looks really cool. Like the dark camouflage is kind of neat. I'm also a Steelers fan, but a lot of the Steelers masks I saw were kind of bright and like looked like for game day. I didn't want something so, I just wanted something. But I don't like, I have the blue medical mask, the disposables I bought. I don't like that either. I feel like I'm going into the operating room when I go into the hardware store. So that's kind of weird. Hey, Mom, glad to see you here. We got a bunch of good people here tonight. In fact, Rita said that. Nice group here tonight. Glad to see some of the regulars back. Me as well. I know that there's been a lot of live streams going on and everything, but I appreciate everybody that shows up here on Monday, and I hope you enjoy the conversation. Even if my video gets grainy, and there's nothing I can do about it. I try to do everything in the house to have everything turned off and make it the best it can be. So I hope the quality's been halfway decent tonight. I do wonder about earlier when I had the news and notes up in the background, if that was robbing some bandwidth and affected the quality, because those videos kept popping up. It's a little bit of a problem, but I wanted to use those for the backdrop for the news and notes. Matt says, don't like Panda Express. I prefer Noodles and Company. Matt, I don't know if I've been to Noodles and Company, but I know what it is. I'll have to check. If I had my druthers the other night in Gatlinburg and the craziness wasn't going on, I'd have gone to like IHOP or Denny's or the reason I said chains and not like the Pancake Pantry or some other place, because all the local pancake places in Gatlinburg for the most part close at 2 p.m. So if you want pancakes later in the day, you got to go to a chain, which I don't have a problem, because the regulars here know that I am a big fan of Denny's and IHOP pancakes. I love them. Sometimes you don't need to recreate the wheel, and it doesn't have to be a custom name on the building. Pancakes, done right, just taste good. So anyway, but we didn't go inside, and I didn't want to do takeout for like IHOP or whatever. Those places too can get really slow. Like we went to IHOP like 6-8 months ago before all this happened, in the north area of Pigeon Forge, and they had like one waiter for the whole restaurant, and they were busy. I don't get that staffing model. Maybe if somebody's a waiter or waitress. I mean, I've worked in places that use a matrix to, figure out employees that are going to be working, and they're trying to minimize, speaking of budget, and be efficient. But it gets to a point where you're waiting like 45 minutes for basic breakfast food and you're super hungry. It's annoying. And it seems like those places do that a lot. Like you go into these, the Denny's or the IHOP, and there's just at night, people crave that food, and then they don't have enough people working. Do I sound grouchy? I'm sorry. I'm not grouchy. I'm happy. I'm just saying, when I'm hungry, I get hangry, right? Isn't that the expression, hangry, hungry and angry at the same time? Okay, that sells at Fox Swift. I'm getting a gator. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man Mom. Yeah. A good place to look for this stuff is Etsy, ETSY. Just put in whatever kind of mask you want, like Mickey Mouse mask, Steelers mask, camouflage mask, purple mask, whatever you like. You'll get like 100. Yeah, start out blurry, looks nice now. Yeah. I'm telling you, I have to get off. Well, listen, things are busy, and so I do my best. But the reality is, if I could extract out the news and notes into a different medium and show you guys, and then just talk to them, that is the proper way I want to do it. I just need to spend the time. I usually wait to get the news and notes on late Monday, so they're more current from the last week, and it doesn't give me enough time to move them out. If I did that, I think those sites in the background. Anyway, I'm boring you guys with that stuff. But I think those videos running in the background that were so annoying earlier take up some of the bandwidth, my mountain bandwidth. Foxy Wolf says Walmart has them for under $15. That's cool. Yeah, people should be monetizing these things right now and making money. Like Chris, you'll have to mention, like, did Dollywood have official masks that you could buy? I know Disney World has them. I mean, if there's a way to make a buck, a business will. And I'd be interesting to see if the theme parks have them. Yeah, so Rita said start out Larry looks now. I order from Amazon and Walmart. Yeah, those are good. I order a lot of stuff from Amazon. I don't know. Etsy was because a lot of home sellers were selling them, like people that are just know how to sew and put them on there. But you heard me complain. Well, I got one from Etsy and one from eBay. So yeah, but it sounds like all good places to get a gator or a mask. Hey, Melanie and Jeff, hope you're having a nice evening. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're having a great start to your week as well. Dale is playing up to what I like too, which is Golden Corral. I love Golden Corral. It is. It's like my favorite buffet too. I know. Well, the high-end buffets excluded, the ones I've talked about before that are a once-a-year type thing, or Christmas dinner or an anniversary. The ones where you're paying $50 or $60 for a single buffet. Let's keep that out of that category because there are many that are my favorite of that status. But your everyday buffets, Golden Corral, you can't beat it. I mean, for the money and for the selection, and you can eat healthy there. You can have a salad and use, a decent salad dressing that's not like, buttermilk. And you can get fresh vegetables like broccoli. Like I'll load up a huge plate of just steamed broccoli, put pepper on it and load up, get all that fiber and eat all that broccoli. And then I'll go get some meat. You can get lean meat or you can get fun meat. You can get chicken or you can get fish. You can get fried stuff, which is fun. I like the fried seafood and all that. So anyway, you're making me hungry. Melanie and Jeff say, I love Golden Corral too. I love Golden Corral. So the last time I went to Golden Corral, not the last time, but one time we went that was really cool was I did a video on my channel of going to Ripley's Believe It or Not, which was on Super Bowl Sunday. I didn't care. I'm a football fan, but I didn't care about the Super Bowl this year. We went to Gatlinburg on Super Bowl Sunday. It was dead. Now, since COVID happened, there have been many days that have shown what Gatlinburg can look like dead. But pre that, I don't think anybody had ever seen Gatlinburg as dead as what it looked like on Super Bowl Sunday. Nobody was there. We went to Golden Corral and Pigeon Forge when we left. It was like a VIP experience. There was like 5 people in the restaurant. All the food was fresh. It was awesome. And there was nobody there. And it was clean and it was really, really nice. Not so crazy. Hey, Loggy Doggy. Hey, Mr. Mountain. How are you doing, Loggy Doggy? Great name, by the way. I love Loggy Doggy. Loggy Doggy, Loggy Doggy. That's cool. That is really cool. What else? Chris said he had a very nice day at Dollywood. Let me know about the mask too, Chris. Did they sell any there? I mean, not that I'm going to buy any. I'm just curious if the parks are trying to do that. Golden Corral in South Georgia is way subpar, not just one of them. Yeah, so the thing about buffets is that they can be nasty too. Like I've mentioned this before for the regulars that are here. We keep a hand sanitizer on the table. This was pre-COVID, by the way, because the handles you touch at any buffet are nasty because you can't control what I'm hoping if there's any byproduct of this COVID thing that makes people more aware is that just personal hygiene and stuff. Like, washing your hands and stuff. I remember I'm going on like 5 tangents here, but I'd go to the gym and I work out of the gym a lot and people would go to the bathroom and walk straight out. That's nasty. Like wash your hands. They got free soap and water there. It takes 20 seconds. Wash your hands. So, there's people like that don't, and they're going to the buffet and they're touching stuff. And, and also I think with Golden Corral and some of these restaurants, it's about the management of that particular franchise, that location, excuse me. So been fortunate the ones local and the ones recently, but if it gets out of control busy, like I remember we went in Myrtle Beach when we were there. I didn't do a video there. That was slammed. I mean, you go to these high touristy areas and it's just so busy. It's really hard. You need a massive staff to keep up with it. Chris did say, I didn't see any masks to buy from Dollywood. Okay, so I thought maybe they would they might try to market it and have one. Brian says Smart and Final also has masks. Okay, that's pretty cool. I have not gotten to know a mountain goat biblical. Nope, don't have that. And Brian is right. Your team didn't make it to the Super Bowl. You're right, Brian. Steelers didn't make it. So selfishly, listen, I'm kind of a fan. When people look left, I look right. Like that's when you do what everybody's doing. You try to do the opposite so that you know, maybe for this type of thing, for crowds and things like that. So most Super Bowl Sunday is kind of a cultural thing here in the United States. And I'm a big football fan, but so people get together even if they don't like football and watch football. So it just was like, it just drained everybody out of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. It was kind of neat. Rita said there's a good family-owned buffet down the road for me. I love their fried fish and fried chicken. They run about $13 for adults. That's a good price. That's, you know, 13 is a good deal for an adult. That's a reasonable dinner. And you think about how much food you're going to get or quality. You're going to get dessert included with that. I like it. I like buffets. Hey, moderators, are you guys, are there, I'm seeing comments here that maybe some of the, I don't know. Can somebody tell me either Karen's story or Chris or a moderator? Are you guys deleting some of the comments? I see some stuff, but in Yardstream, I still see it. So I'm wondering if it's just the software I'm using. Like if you can give me a thumbs up, like, yeah, Mr. Mountain Man, I removed a few. That's all I need to know because I still see stuff. That's the only thing I don't like about this software. Like I can't, I don't know. It's hard to remove from here. You're making me hungry, Rita. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Chris, thank you for telling me that. What? Oh, Karen. Thank you, Chris. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Talk about the hungriness here. All right. Going. I'm here. And I'm in the chat now. There's going to be like an echo and a feedback. That's going to be weird because I just pulled it up on my phone. And there you go, Karen. Sorry. Tell me if you've got the thing now. Saxy Matt. Okay. If anybody else that's a regular wants to help moderate the channel, I put that out there last week. I was kind of surprised that nobody bit on it. Most people like the Blue Wrench. But if anybody that's a regular that I know wants to do that, sorry for the pauses. This isn't good live streaming right here. A little administrative duties going on the Mr. Mountain Man live stream right now. So I just needed to see. But yeah, the Yardstream software, maybe at some point, I really like Yardstream because I like that banner across the bottom and all that. But I had also, there's like OBS and Zoom and some others. Who knows? Maybe I'll switch it up. I looked and I couldn't find one piece of documentation about having moderator tools through Yardstream. It's kind of a pain. So sorry, I missed a couple of comments. Okay, so the menus are probably most germ-ridden item in a restaurant. Yeah, so they're moving to paper menus, right, Karen? And they're doing that, I believe, in an effort to just pitch them when they're done. And so you're right, because that plastic that they would wipe with the towel that they wipe the tables, I mean, like, I'm sure if they put that under a microscope, it would be nasty. Right. And Loggy Doggy's right. It is nasty, and you would spin that at KFC. That's right. That's right. Did somebody build a bridge to live under here? Oh, very clever, Foxy. Does that mean a troll? Because there were some, and that was the administrative duties that I had to go through. If that's what you meant, or if I missed something and it went over my head, let me know. Let's see here. Yeah, you're the mother mod. Yeah. Thank you, Saxy Matt. Saxy Matt has some cool live streams, by the way. Throwing out a plug to his channel. He invites others often. I try to attend when I can, even if it's just in the background. You need a secondary device for yard stream chats. So what I was worried about that, Saxy Matt, if somebody's already put 2 and 2 together before, is I try to minimize what I have open when I'm live streaming because it uses up bandwidth. And the problem with using up bandwidth is I don't want to make my video grainy. So I try not to run a secondary stream, but maybe that's what I have to do. Thank you for letting me know that, though. That'll save me a lot of time for hunting and pecking for some of the controls here. All right, got me all off kilter because I saw some weird stuff on here. I'm normally not that popular, by the way. I don't know if those are bots or trolls or whatever. Nope. Normally people don't, I mean, sometimes I've only had like 6 people in the chat. So, but I hope you all enjoy everything that we're talking about. So maybe another 5 or so minutes. I was enjoying talking about the food. I already had dinner, so it's not making me super hungry, but yeah. So, hey, I want to know your all thoughts real quickly though, about what I said about Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Like, do you all feel comfortable being out in the crowds, and is it okay? And, again, that's, I just like to know, I really am like absorbing like a sponge what people are doing. And either way, I respect that. It's everybody's decision. Some people I have some friends that have told me straight up, and not rudely, just, yeah, they don't feel that they're, it's an issue to them. And while they acknowledge it's an issue, they're going to continue to just go on, and didn't say that rudely. And so, yeah. If your video is green, yes, okay. If your video is grainy, you can always lower the camera resolution. So yeah, I'll have to double check that because right now the camera is running at 480p, Matt. That's pretty low. This is actually a 1080p camera. I just don't have the bandwidth to stream like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's I don't think I can go any lower than that, but that's a good recommendation, by the way. Thank you for that. Mr. Mountain Man Mom said we cancel Walt Disney World. Yeah, Disney World opening back up, I believe July 15th. Is that the date? But and if people I had heard who had free dining plan, they took it away and they were going to do a 35% discount on the reservation, which people did not like. Yeah, so Disney World is also going to require reservations, and so very similar to the other theme parks. I need faster speed or radar. I do. I really want to go to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, but the crowd's not following social distancing. Mask scares me. Yeah. The only thing I would recommend, oh, by the way, Marvin, you bring up a good point or made me think of something. We wanted to go to the aquarium. We have the passes, and the family really wants to go. But that's indoors, and it's crazy. And we called, and we said, are you guys implementing any social distancing? And she said, we try, but the reality is it's not. It's like a regular day. She said it was packed on the weekends. She said, if you want to try to come and avoid the crowds, try to come on like a Tuesday. Well, I need to take a day off to do that, which maybe someday I will decide to do that. And so, yeah. So if you go, Marvin, think about some of the things I said earlier about navigating smartly. Like if you go to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, maybe don't go to like Laurel Falls or like the real popular place or the visitor center. Find some more off the beaten path, or just stay in the car and go to Cades Cove, which, by the way, I meant to tell everybody when we didn't go all the way out to Cades Cove. And I'll have a video coming up of where we went this weekend, but we went when we made a right at Sugarlands Visitor Center. No joke. It was about 5:30. There was a 2-mile line coming back toward the visitor center to go back to Gatlinburg. It was like 2 miles long. Everybody had gone to Cades Cove in the morning, was come back at the same time. It was awful traffic. Thank goodness we were going the opposite direction. By the time we got back, it wasn't so bad. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, try to navigate any crowded place. Take out, stay in the car, be outdoors, things that you can control, because just assume that your neighbor will not, meaning by your neighbor, like the person next to you. Loggy Doggy says, the wife and I are probably going to wear masks in close quarters. Yeah, that's what we do too. We do the same. Loggy Doggy, that's what we do. Rita says, I don't think I could deal with a mask in the hot weather. I just stay in. Yeah, it is. It can get, kind of difficult to breathe in those. And then it kind of defeats the purpose once we start touching stuff, if we start adjusting the mask and touching our face, because once you put that on, you really at least use hand sanitizer, and then before you touch the mask and adjust it. I've even had times where I've used my side like this to adjust the mask so I don't touch my face. Might need to go to 360. Okay, so that's good to know, Matt, about the 360, if that works. I might try that, Matt. Thank you for letting me know that. Normally I don't, that's 360p was what we're talking about, bumping down resolution to help with the streaming. Normally I don't like huge crowds, but with the things we have to be careful with today, I would want to wear a mask if visiting the Smokies, Pigeon Forge, and Berg, even if it's not required. Yeah. When we went in places as a family, we were doing the same. If we were going, especially if we were going inside somewhere, like when we stopped at the rest area in Tennessee and we wore the masks, off the interstate. And, so yeah, I agree, Karen. That's what we do. It's very difficult down in the Parkway, I hope what we hope is that the awareness is that people won't go out in public if they're sick. That's what the assumption is. But some people, their vacation's coming up, they have reservations, and they start feeling a little sick. They're going to push through and they're going to go. And, it just could happen. Not to say it would. I mean, the numbers are still if you do math and do statistics, the numbers of cases versus the actual population is still very, very small. So while they might say an 80% increase in cases, that could be going from, like 8 to 10, or what? No, 80%, 2 to 8 or 2 to 10 or whatever that number is. I'm talking about statistics. I'm butchering the math right on the live stream. The point is it could be small in numbers. So these are things trying to process too, but it's still a little bit of a chance. Valley Mount says, I'm in a high-risk category, so I haven't been out. But if I was healthier, I'd probably be going out normal activities as much as possible. And yeah, and a lot of people, I believe, Valley Mountain have that mentality as well, by evidence of what we had seen this weekend. The thing I found interesting, Valley Mountain, was there are a lot of people I would perceive that may not be healthy or might be in a risk category, but we're still out, no masks, just going out and about, no social distancing. So I don't know. It's very interesting. It's interesting and confusing. Those are the two words that I would label this situation. I do not do crowds yet. The grocery store is my only outing, sad but true. I go in Corrèze, just get out. I love going to the library and won't even get there yet. The library is a funny one, Dale, or not funny, but when we had called up because we didn't want to go in, and somebody kind of poo-pooed us there because we were like, do you have to wear a mask or distancing? We just asked a simple question. They're like, hey, don't worry about that. Well, we just wanted to know. So yeah, those are good places to go though. The library, the library, you can probably, if you know what books you want, you might be able to check them out ahead of time and have them just ready. So you could just walk in and get them so you don't have to peruse. We like the library too. Libraries, I talked about that in one of my live streams, by the way. The library is a great thing. I got mountain books for free. They're awesome. I will wear facial protection or stay home. Yeah, Foxy. I think that's that's a way to navigate as well. And you were the one who talked about the gators, so that's really cool. Chad says, hello. Hey, Chad Loveless. Good to have you here tonight. I hope you're doing well and everything's going all right. Catching us at the tail end. So if you would enjoy to go back, I'm probably going to close this out in about 5 minutes. Just having a good conversation about this last weekend. If you've picked up, It was absolutely packed in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Looked like business as usual. So it's just interesting. I was just getting everybody's take on that feedback. Yeah, 2 miles long. It was crazy. Like, you know, on the interstate, there could be an accident going the other way and you're driving. You're like, oh my goodness, when's the other side going to stop? Like all the traffic. That's what it was like. I was just driving and driving. It was just a line of cars. So I guess that's one piece of advice is like, if you think you're going to Cades Cove on the weekend in the summer and you think you're the only one, wrong. Everybody in the world is going out there that wants to get out of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and they all come back about the same time, which was about dinner time, and there was one heck of a line. It probably took an hour. I'm ready to go to Hollywood Universal Studios. Yeah, Brian, I don't know when that opens. I know Universal in Florida opened. You'll have to let us know when the Universal Studios in Hollywood opens back up. I've been out of my house away from home 6 times since January. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's so. For everything that I've said, you know, we still go out. It's just, again, we navigate how we go out. Like I've gone to Lowe's and I go to Walmart. I go to Ingles in the shopping, you know, for groceries and hardware store, post off. You know, if I have to run an errand, I've been to Harbor Freight, but I'll wear a mask. We don't go out unnecessarily. Been doing a lot more around the house. Takeout only. The recommendation earlier about eating outside was a good one. I think that was Angie said something like that. So yeah, just making decisions on how to kind of weave our way through this thing. The gators should be more tolerable in the heat. You guys almost saw my mullet there. I don't really mean to have one. It's starting to curl up in the back. I'm making fun of myself, by the way. Yes, Karen. By the way, Karen, I know your name's Karen Story, but I can call you Story Has It. Like, I like to call people by what they like. I like the handles on YouTube. I think, you know, back in the day, like CBs. So, you know, whether you know, let me know what you want. I do call Saxy Matt because I shorten it, but if it's okay to call you Karen, or I can call you Story Has It, whatever you like. Just make sure the gator's 100% cotton. Yeah. So, Story Has It, Karen. I talked about that earlier. So I had read an article. The reason I don't have a gator is because a lot of them had polyester for the stretching ability. And I had read an article that wasn't as effective. If you're going to wear a mask, you know, try to make it effective. But I think it was Foxy Wolf said you can get them in 100% cotton. So that is what I will be looking for. I'm going to look for a gator in 100% cotton with a design that I like. Sex Mad, during the rod run, I was hearing an hour and 40 from Gatlinburg to Pigeon Forge. Wow. Yeah. That was another thing, like the unofficial rod run. We didn't go through Pigeon Forge at high time. I love cars. I would have loved to have seen that. There's been some great videos in the community that people have made. But yeah, the rod run in general, when there's a real one, the traffic can be insane in Pigeon Forge. Oh, but the good thing is the GPS is really crafty. Like we were coming into Pigeon Forge. It took us on all these back roads to skate around the east side of Pigeon Forge and dump us out far north when we went to go putt-putt. So GPS can come in handy. And it was a beautiful scenic route because you're in the mountains. I take off my mask in the car in my house. Yeah, Brian, I do too. I saw somebody with a mask on in the car the other day, and I was kind of wondering about that. I'm like, that doesn't really add up. I was curious about that. And they had the windows rolled up and everything, so I'm not really sure what that was all about. Or if I'm walking, yeah. If I'm not near anyone, I don't have my mask on. Yeah, we're the same, Karen. You know, when we can adhere to social distancing or it's wide enough open, we don't. Like when we went to Chimney Rock on Mother's Day, we didn't wear masks that day, but that was crazy. I did not expect that many people there on that small path, but we moved so quickly by people. Hopefully it wasn't a problem. And some people don't know they're sick and go out and about, and that's right, Dale. That's the kicker right there. That's the problem, is like it's that wild card right there. Or people might start to feel a little off and they don't stay at home. Even if 90-95% of people are better about that nowadays, it only takes a few. And I don't want to sound all like doomy and gloomy about it, but you know, it's just something I was interested in what you guys thought. I really am. That's why I love the conversation. Saw a panhandler wearing a mask in Louisville. Funny, but true. I had no cash on me at the time, or I would give him some for sure. Yeah, you know, even in these tough times, I saw somebody the other day and I rolled down the window. I just rolled down the window a little bit less. and I stuck a couple of dollars out. So instead of like full on and handing it out, I just kind of went through the window a little bit easier to donate it. Don't let this bother me not wearing a mask. Yeah. Yes. Nice doggy. Yep. I don't want to touch the money. Yeah. I just, no things to do. Close. No things here to do. We don't have what you just closed. Just the restaurants. Yeah. And again, you could do like takeout and, so, I mean, there's still ways to make things happen, and if you want to, but try to be safe about it. One year we left the hotel at 5 a.m. to beat the traffic in Kate's Cove. Nope, everybody had the same idea. That's what I'm saying, right? And so listen, I live in Western North Carolina and we have deer galore. In fact, I had one on Instagram. So me seeing deer is no big deal. Bears, on the other hand, we did see a bear in our backyard 2 weeks ago. I meant to mention it on the live stream and I forgot. But we did have a bear. And so bears are always mesmerizing. I love to see bears, but deer don't excite me. We went to Cage Cove 2 or 3 years ago, and there was like a half-mile line dead stopped. And it was hot, and it was in the summer. And we were kind of getting to that point. It was on the backside of Cage Cove where it was like, we were all kind of like, it's time to get back to Gatlinburg. We've had fun, but it's time to go. And the traffic was just standstill. And finally we got up, and all these cars were on the side and people with the cameras. And we asked somebody, and it was just, they were talking, about a deer. One deer. I don't know if you're from the Midwest or anywhere on the East Coast, deer usually aren't that big of a deal. So I'm not so sure what's exciting. Now, listen, I'll tell you a story. Tonight I saw a deer. I'm not joking. This big, a baby deer, as small as a puppy with a mom deer. Cutest thing in the world. Told the family, went outside. It was interesting because we made a little noise opening the door, and like 3 or 4 other deer swooped on that baby and got around it. Their instinct to protect. It was really cute. So that was cool. But this out in Cage Cove, we see one deer and stopped the traffic for a mile. That left a little sour taste in my mouth. At least if it was a bear. Excuse me. December 14th, I think the Universal Studio opens. Also, you got 6 months to go, Brian, before that's going to open. Let's go through a rapid round, then I'll close this out. Story has it, that's what we use our debit so much and carry wipes for machines. Loggy Doggy, a lot of places are trying to go to cashless, especially like theme parks and such, to avoid the cash for that very reason. I haven't been out since we were here. Yeah, my mom stays in also to, stay away from this stuff. I wish I had a stock in sanitizer wipes. Yeah. Karen, I was looking at your comment about to laugh. You all call me anything you want. Just make sure you call me for dinner. That's right. That's awesome. Cool. I just want to make sure. Loggy Doggy, from time to time, I'll order them off of Sam's Club or Walmart, and they usually take a couple weeks to get here. But because the stores don't always have them in stock, so I do that. Loggy Doggy says hard to find here. Yeah. I heard once that around Christmas it took people 8 hours to go 5 miles. It might have been 5 hours to go 8 miles. But either way, does anyone know if that could have been true? Dale, I'm going to say yes. I believe it. I mean, Cage Cove is absolutely beautiful if anybody hasn't been there. It is just gorgeous. But be prepared to be patient if you go on the weekend or any high tourist time. That would be Christmas or summertime. It gets busy. That sounds familiar. I think so much in the world is going on now, and people just have to get out to keep from going crazy with all the negative news. That makes for large crowds. That is very true, Rita. Cabin fever is in full effect, and people want to get out. And so, yeah. Hey, even Karen said the same phrase. People were getting cabin fever. Yes. Chad says, nice stopping in. Hope I have a good night and see you later. You as well, Chad. Take care. Positive out of the quarantine is everybody probably has the cleanest, most organized, remodeled homes. I thought about that too, Karen, and actually that's been evidenced by like Home Depot and Lowe's stock has been going up even through COVID, because it's true. A lot of people have had to refocus towards their house. What needs painted, what electrical outlet needs replaced, what thing in the car needs replaced, what landscaping. I got to do a little mulch. We got to fix this or the sink or this plumbing or blah, 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 blah. It's just, well, at least that's how I've been. Yeah. So I agree. I bet you people are going to have a great, clean house, tip top shape, but now they're wanting to get out. Destination Delight was in Cherokee to see the elk. Now the elk, that's cool. Like, I think elk are awesome because that's not an everyday thing. Elk and bear, and Cherokee has both. So that's one cool thing that's out that way. I definitely think that's a cool place to go. I guess there will be lots of traffic, and plan ahead snacks and don't drink too much water. That's right, Dale. By the way, that's really good advice, especially with the family. Once you get out there, it's nature. I mean, there are some bathrooms in Cage Cove at certain places, but that's a big thing with driving on the Blue Ridge Parkway and all these places. When you get out remote, you got to plan that. And so, yeah, that is a very good point. Okay, Brian. Oh, sorry. Clicked the wrong one. See you soon. Yep. Okay. I'll see you soon. Yep. Take care, Brian. And I'm sorry I missed all your chat. I had to charge the phone. Good night, everyone. Mr. Brown. Same to you, Susan Thompson. And I guess that's a good time to probably wrap this up. I went a little bit extra today because we're having such a great conversation. So that does it for episode 31 of Mr. Mountain Man's Mountain Man Monday. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having all the regulars here and everybody here. I hope you enjoyed the current news notes and things going on. Stay connected on Instagram through Mr. Mountain Man and Twitter. I have both of those right here. So if you want to follow me on either, I have been more active on Instagram than Twitter recently. But what I do with Instagram is when I post, I also post to Twitter because it has an option. So the link will show up on Twitter for the pictures that I post. What else is going on? I think that is about it. Maybe I'll have a little less hair next week. Maybe not. Who knows? I got to go clean off that nasty razor with the hair on it. Yeah. Right? Okay. All right. So, yes, hope everyone has a great week, night, good night. Good night. Another one in the book. Thanks, Mr. Mountain Man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Karen, and moderators and everybody. Thank you to the moderators for keeping things sane tonight. I got thrown off base a few times because I couldn't tell if that stuff was lingering around. Thank you so much. Jean Marita, thank you for the chat. Thank you to you as well. And yes, I also had in there, I think somebody, that was the, and actually, Saxy Matt, I got a cooler URL, the Eclectic Handyman. So youtube.com/The Eclectic Handyman. And also Foxy Wolf has a great sleepy look in there. Good night, everyone. So good night to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful and safe week. Enjoy the spring rolling into summer. And we will see you on the next Mountain Man Monday. Good night, everyone. Take care and have a great week.